Dear students, welcome back to the series of lessons on Class 4 Environmental Science. In today's episode, we will explore Chapter 19 of your textbook, Abdul in the Garden. Dear students, have you ever visited a garden? What do you see? Yes, you find different types of trees, plants and flowers. Do you have a garden in your house backyard? Abdul too had a garden in his house and was trying to pull out grass from the vegetable beds. He found out that it was not easy to pull out even the small grass out of the soil. His Abbu told him that the roots of the grass are very strong. He will have to dig them out. Thus, Abdul started to dig the soil very carefully. Abdul found out that the roots of the grass plant were longer and much more spread out than the part of the plant above the ground. Dear students, look at this image. This is how the roots of a grass plant look like. Can you see how long the roots of this plant are? Abbu then went on to pull out some radish out of the soil. This is how a radish looks like. Abdul wondered whether radish was also a root. Do you think radish is a root? If yes, then why? Yes, radish is a root because it is grown under the soil. Can you name another vegetable that looks exactly similar to radish? Yes, you are absolutely correct. Carrot is an orange vegetable that looks very similar to radish. Carrot is also a root. Now, let us continue our story. Only a few radish had been pulled by Abdul and his Abbu when it suddenly started to rain with strong winds. Both of them picked the radish and ran. They had just reached home when a branch of the neem tree in the courtyard broke and fell. Despite the strong wind, the neem tree remained firm on the ground. Dear students, why do you think the neem tree remained firm on the ground despite the strong winds? Yes, you are right. Abdul found it very hard to remove the roots of a grass plant because they were very strong. Similarly, the roots of the neem tree were also very strong and deep, which is why they stayed firmly on the ground despite the strong winds. As it rained in Abdul's garden, all plants received plenty of water. Why do you think plants need water? What will happen if nobody waters the plants? Plants need water to grow. If nobody waters the plants, then the leaves dry off and will become a dead plant. Do you water your plants regularly? Abdul realized that he never watered the neem tree. Where did it get its water from? The neem tree gets its water from the rains and from under the ground. Roots of big trees grow deep into the soil in search of moisture. This is where the neem tree gets its water from. One day, Abdul saw a plant growing out of a wall in his school. He wondered how deep the roots of this plant must be going. Where do these roots get water from? How big will this plant grow? The roots of this plant would not grow much deep. These roots get water from the cracks in the walls. When it rains, water gets collected in these cracks, which is then absorbed by the roots. One day, Abdul saw a huge tree fallen on the ground. He could see some of its long roots. Abdul wondered how old the tree must have been. Dear students, have you seen a tree fallen down? Is it good or bad to see trees being felled down? Yes, students, it is very bad to see trees fell down. Trees give us so many things. Trees give us flowers, fruits. They provide us with shade on a hot summer day. Many animals live on these trees. And most importantly, trees provide us with fresh air that we breathe. Therefore, it is very important to take care of our trees. Did you know that there are rules against cutting of trees? No one is allowed to trim or cut down a tree in our country. If a tree has to be cut down for any reason, then the people must take permission from the government office. Dear students, have you seen a banyan tree? Look at this image. This is how a banyan tree looks like. Do you notice something different? Can you see the long hair-like strands from the branches? These are special types of roots. Now, you may wonder as to why the banyan tree has roots above the ground. These are special roots that provide extra support to the large banyan tree. The roots below the soil of a banyan tree are not sufficient to support the large tree. Dear students, have you ever seen a desert? We have a desert in India in the state of Rajasthan called the Thar Desert. Here, there is no water available for growing plants. Desert oak is a tree found in the deserts of Australia. This is how a desert oak looks like. The roots of this tree go very deep in search of water. This water is stored in the tree's trunk. The local people knew about this. When there was no water in the desert, the people used to insert a thin pipe into the tree's trunk to drink its water. Dear students, here is a small activity that you can do in your home to understand how plants grow. Arrange for a glass tumbler or a bottle with a wide mouth, rubber band, some seeds of moong, wheat, bajra or rajma and a wad of cotton wool. Take a few seeds in the bowl of water. Take the wad of cotton wool and wet it. Put it over the mouth of the glass tumbler. Now tie it with a rubber band to make sure it is tight enough. Remove the soaked seeds from water and place them on the cotton wool. You have to make sure that the cotton wool does not dry. Keep watering it so that it stays wet all the time. Now, observe what happens to the seeds and the bottle over the next 10 to 12 days. Now, based on this activity, can you answer the following questions on page 163 of your textbook? What difference do you observe in the seeds after soaking? What do you think will happen if the cotton wool had been left dry? In which direction did the roots grow? And the stem? How big did the plant grow in the cotton wool? Did small plants come out from all the seeds? Write your observation in your notebook and submit it to your teacher. Dear students, in today's lesson, we learnt how Abdul discovered roots of a plant by pulling it out of the soil. We also learnt that roots absorb water from the soil to grow. As plants get enough water and sunlight, they grow into trees. Have you ever seen a plant grow into a tree? What other things grow around you? Yes, all plants, animals and we humans grow from time to time. You would have seen a puppy grow into a dog over a certain period of time. You also would have grown taller compared to last year. Isn't that right? This means that we all grow over a certain period of time. Dear students, that brings us to the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed and liked it. Thank you and goodbye.